Hi, everybody. Welcome in. It's Feelgood Friday. I hope you are feeling good. It's going to be a fun show. So, if you're not, maybe you will be here in a little bit because I've got some really beautiful things to show you for this Friday, and I cannot wait to get into it. But we do have to wait just a little bit because Facebook is always a little bit slower than our YouTube catching up. But I do want to say hello to everybody. Hi, Jan. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Anita. How are ya? All right. Everybody's making their way in. Missy is here. Hello, hello. I hope you're having a good one. All right, friends. Okay, so let's not waste too much time because I do have a packed show and it is full of beady goodness, and I don't want you to miss any of it. So I've got some really beautiful things. I really, really do. I'm excited about today's show for sure. I'm usually pretty excited, but this is one of those shows where I told the team yesterday, like, I literally love everything in the show, and that very rarely happens because I'll feel strongly about one or two pieces, but then the rest of them I'll be like, yeah, they're okay. This is not one of those. This is one where I literally love every single thing in the show. So it's really hard for me to pick favorites, and I cannot wait to show everything to you because I've got some really cool things for sure. All right, so Susie says, "Happy Friday, Friday indeed." I am definitely excited that it is Friday. It could not get here soon enough. This has been a very long week. And I don't know. It's funny because August flew in and flew out really quickly, and September is here. And I don't know about you, but my September, at least so far, kind of feels like it's dragging a little bit. I'm like, what day is it? It's only the 13th. What? Feels like it's going much slower than August did, and I don't know how I feel about that. But I do know that the temperature has come down a little bit, the humidity is down a little bit, and the leaves here are starting to change. So I'm in my happy place. That when the temperature starts coming down a little bit more, it's cool enough here that I can open the window and leave the window open all day. That is my kind of weather because it's not like so cold that it's uncomfortable, but it's not so hot that you're dying and you need the air conditioner on. So you can open the window. There's a nice little breeze. Everything just feels kind of crisp. I love that. So I'm here for all of it. All right. So, guys, it is Feel Good Friday. But before we get into that, we are going to do a little bit of housekeeping. There's not much to talk about, but we will talk about all of the things. First and foremost, please set your reminders for 4 p.m. Eastern for this afternoon's Art Beads live show. You don't want to miss that one. I'm using Vintage, and I do have a coupon code to share with you guys for that show. So if you want to grab some Vintage pieces, today is going to be the day to do that because I'm going to be able to offer you a coupon code to do that. And you don't want to miss out on that for sure. Plus the fact that the project that we're doing is just really, really pretty. If you've not seen it, definitely want to head on over to the Art Beads website here in a little while and set your reminders for that. You can set up the notifications and the whole bit. You don't want to miss out because it's a pretty project. It's not a hard project, but it's really lovely. And I think that you guys will like it and be inspired by it. So I definitely want to encourage you to come and hang out with me this afternoon for that. Let's see what else. I don't really have anything else to report other than, of course, you can sign up for Patreon anytime you want to. I did have some new news about Patreon. So let me lay out the Patreon. Let me lay down the track here for you. So Patreon, for those of you who don't know, is it is exclusive content for $10 a month, and it happens. Most people associate Patreon with YouTube. However, you can be a YouTube member, a Facebook user. It really doesn't matter, and you can be anywhere in the entire world. It makes no difference. But if you would like to be a Patreon member, it is $10 a month, and that gets you exclusive content that you will only see on Patreon. You will not see it on YouTube. You will not see it on Facebook or anywhere else. The pictures I post, but you won't see the projects themselves. They are exclusive, as I mentioned, to Patreon. You get at least 3 projects a month, sometimes more than that, but I definitely give you at the very least 3 a month. And you have access to our Discord server, which is a little community hub where you can chat with each other and hang out. Now, the cool thing is that Patreon is always kind of growing and expanding and becoming this new thing. Now, I say that, and then I want to say this part. I don't have any control over that. So I don't want you to think that like I have a say in what Patreon does. I don't. I just use the service. So when it comes to like billing issues and things like that, like you have to contact Patreon. I am just a content creator. That is all. So any of your internal issues with Patreon, those have to be addressed through Patreon. The same is true when they make changes to their site and to their what they allow. So I was excited by this new feature that Patreon has just rolled out. And that is where, even if you are not a paid Patreon member to my Patreon, you can buy individual projects from me. So, in other words, we've built up this library of projects that are exclusive to Patreon members, right? You have to be a paid member to see those projects. However, now Patreon has an option where I have a shop, and in that shop is where my digital content lives. So if you don't want to pay for an entire month of Patreon, which it's only $10, but if you don't want to pay for the entire month, you can pick and choose which projects you want, and you can pay for those projects individually. So it's kind of cool. It's always kind of evolving and changing. Patreon is always trying to find ways to further your reach and to get you out there, get your content in front of more people. So if you don't want to do the monthly Patreon, you can buy an individual project and you just download the content. You have access just to that project. So that's pretty cool for those of you who may not want to be a Patreon member. But I do encourage you to be a Patreon member because the projects that we do there are so cool. So the projects that I do for Patreon they're not hard. And the techniques are various. The inspiration there, or the reason for the projects there, is inspiration, I should say. I encourage you to use things that you have in your own stash. I'm not pushing you to go buy anything or directing you to a website or anything like that. I am simply putting together beautiful pieces of jewelry that I enjoy and I love, and hopefully inspiring you to do the same with things that you have in your own stash. Kind of like shop your stash kind of situation, where I want you to use what you have, because if you're like me, you got a lot of stuff. And a lot of times it just kind of sits there. So hopefully this is a way for you to use what you have without feeling like you're pressured to go buy more. That's the goal with Patreon, plus the fact that they're just beautiful, fun pieces of jewelry to put together. So that's how you can view Patreon, because Patreon is different than Hardwired. Hardwired is very technique driven. We're learning focused, whereas Patreon is not. It's more casual and just fun, putting together beautiful pieces of jewelry. So all right, guys, everybody is here now. Hi, Mary. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Tamara. Debbie's here. Yolanda's here. Let's do it. Let's do it, shall we? It is Feel Good Friday. Is my very favorite day of the week. And here on our Feel Good Friday shows, we focus on fun and easy instant gratification jewelry that you can very easily recreate. And I make that super easy for you by putting everything that you see in today's show available as a kit for purchase over in my Etsy shop. My team is here in the comment section, both on Facebook and on YouTube, dropping links to those kits. So as you see me putting these projects together, you can click on those links and head straight over to my Etsy shop and purchase all of those. And put those together along with me if you want to. And you can always watch this as a replay, so you can come back and be re-inspired, or see the, the how-to once you get the kit in your hands. So we focus on fun and easy, like I mentioned. So we focus on techniques that are simple loops, wrapped loops, simple stringing, simple knotting. We don't do anything hard on Fridays. We don't need to, because beautiful jewelry doesn't have to be a representation of every skill or technique we've ever learned. So we keep things nice and easy here, all skill levels. And we really focus on the beauty of the beads and the fun in the project. That's why a lot of times you'll see the same style of project on a Friday show over and over again. There's a bracelet in today's in today's show that we've done previously several times in different colors. It's because it's one that you guys absolutely love, and I know that because the kits sell out every single time. So I just keep giving you the things that you love. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, Tuesday lives at 1 p.m., those are going to be the lives for you. But if you just want to be inspired and you want to grab kits and make fun jewelry for yourself, for your booth, for your friends, for your family, for gifts, whatever whatever it happens to be, then Feel Good Friday is the show for you. So I've got 2 bracelets, a necklace, and 3 pairs of earrings. So I've got 6 things to show you. And we are going to start with a bracelet, and then we're going to skip over to some earrings, and then we're going to skip back again. So things are going to be a little bit different order wise, because a lot of times I save the earrings for the end, but not today. All right, I'm going to turn you around and we're going to get started. Ready? Here we go. All right. Okay. So please excuse the bead mat. It has wrinkles in it. I just got it out of the closet. So it was folded over, and I need to get the wrinkles out of it. But all right, so we're going to be putting together a beautiful bracelet. You guys, I'm having a hard time picking my favorite thing in the show today. So I don't think I'm going to actually pick, but you guys, this is such a beautiful bracelet. If you love purples and blues, this is the one for you for sure. So we're going to put together a stringing project here. Does have a couple little dangles, because you know I can't not do dangles. This is the purple bellflower bracelet. Now, I absolutely love check bellflower beads. They are some of my very favorite things ever. I've got some lucite flowers here. We've got some jump rings. We've got some bead caps, and we have some seed beads. So when you're dumping your kit out, be careful about the seed beads, because they're kind of hard to see. They're like this really beautiful kind of iridescent purpley gray color. And I don't want you to lose any of those, because they're pretty important to the design, even though they're very, very tiny. All right, so we're going to be creating a stringing project here with these really awesome check glass beads that are this really cool Picasso finish on purpley blue beads. Okay, and then we've got bellflowers in purple, and we have some little Swarovski crystals in blue. We have our seed beads that are hidden in all of this. I kind of want to separate everything out so that I can get to those seed beads. But basically, this is just going to be a stringing project. But the first thing that we have to do before we start stringing everything up is we need to prepare all of our bellflowers. Okay. So each one of the bellflowers is going to go onto a head pin. And normally for bellflowers, I do this really fun little wrapped thing at the top. For these, we're not doing that. We're just doing simple loops. We will be doing that kind of wire wrapped bead cap looking thing later in another project. But for these, we're just doing simple loops. So each one of these needs to go onto a head pin. Okay. Just like so. And then we're just going to do a simple loop on these. So I'm going to grab the wire right where it is exiting the bead, and I'm going to give that a bend. And then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, and I'm going to trim off, leaving myself about 1/4 of an inch of wire. And then I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm going to roll back to create a simple loop. Okay. And you want to do that with all of the bellflower beads that you've got before you start your stringing. All right, then you are going to start the stringing part of this. So let's go ahead. We're going to thread on a crimp and our wire guardian. Okay, so up through the wire guardian. Cheryl, I absolutely love that. What an amazing thing. That is the ultimate compliment to me. So I thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what I want. So for those of you who are on Facebook who can't see Cheryl's comment because she's a YouTube user, she said, I feel that Sarah is my private tutor. That is exactly what I want all of these lives to always feel like, right? I want to feel like we're one-on-one, you're beading with a friend, we're hanging out, we're having a good time. Maybe you learn something, maybe you laugh a little. You know, that's what I want this to be. I never take myself too seriously, and amazingly enough, people learn that way. It's kind of crazy how it happens. It's almost like osmosis, right? All right, trimming off the excess. Okay, and now we are going to start stringing. So our stringing is going to be this. We're going to do 1 check fire polish and then 2 seed beads. Okay, and the seed beads, as I mentioned, are very small, but they have a really important job. On top of those seed beads, you're going to thread one of your bellflowers and then another check fire polish. I'm going to drop these down and I'm going to show you what happens. So what happens is then your bellflower bead does not touch your bead stringing wire. It sits on top of those 2 seed beads, right? So your beading wire is protected from the metal abrasion of this bellflower just bouncing around there. Okay. So it also gives you a little whisper of color. You know, they're not crazy bright colors, but they're colors nonetheless. So we're going to do that with all of our bellflower beads. So in between each one of these check fire polish, you're going to put 2 seed beads, and then you're going to put a bellflower, and then you're going to do another check fire polish. Okay, and then you're going to do 2 more seed beads, the bellflower, check bead, 2 seed beads, hi Kim. All right, 2. Oh, oops, accidentally got 3. Okay, so you're just following this pattern, right? And what happens is you end up with these beautiful flowers dangling on the side of your bracelet. And they're not dangling really far and long, so they aren't, it's not like regular dangles where, you know, sometimes I do a cluster and it's big and it's, you know, it can be kind of hard to wear on a daily basis. This kind of dangle I feel like is a lot easier to wear because they don't hang down really far. They're still very close to the beads and just beautiful. Now I love the little seed beads in between because it's just a little whisper of color. They also are this cute little protective layer. Oh, whoops, I accidentally put 2 on before I did my fire polish. Okay, so 2 more. Hi, Asia. All right. Last little bellflower. And then our last fire polish. All right, now we're going to thread on some of our other beads here. Look how pretty. And I love the color palette here because it's subdued and soft. There is a bright blue pop here, but for the most part, this is just like a really soft color palette. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to thread on a Swarovski bicone in this soft, light sapphire color. Okay, then we're going to do a bead cap large bead cap. Then we're going to thread on 2 of the lucite flowers. And then we're going to thread on our big check fire polish in that light sapphire. And then another bead cap. And one more. Oh, thank you, Tina. One more of the Swarovski bicones. And then we're going to crimp. Okay, you still have one bicone left. Save that because we're going to put it with our cutie little charm here. Okay, now we're going to crimp the end of this. So we're going to thread on our crimp. And then our wire guardian. Okay, so up through the wire guardian, down through the wire guardian, down through the crimp, making sure that your wires are not crisscrossing inside there, right? They need to be running parallel inside that crimp. You're going to place that crimp bead into the back notch of the crimper tool. You're going to give that a squeeze. And then you're going to turn it sideways and put it into the front notch of the crimper tool and give that a squeeze. And then you're going to come in and trim off the excess. Oops. Okay. All right. So this is what we have so far. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Now we have a series of jump rings here. So I've got 3 large jump rings that I've linked together. Okay. Then I have 2 smaller jump rings that we're going to use with our clasp. I also have my charm, a bicone, and a small jump ring. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with all of this. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to put our bicone onto a head pin, and we're going to do a little wrapped loop here, or you could do a simple loop. It's up to you, but we're going to grab the wire, bend that right where it is exiting the bead. We're coming in with our round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then we are going to wire wrap. And about 3 wire wraps. Then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off the excess wire. Tuck your end if you need to after you trim. Okay. All right. I'm going to use a little 4mm jump ring to attach that bicone to our little charm here. And then I'm going to close that back. All right. Now I'm going to use my 3 jump rings linked together on one end. And it really makes absolutely no difference which side of the bracelet you want your clasp to go onto. And if you don't need these jump rings, you can leave these out, or you can take 1 or 2 of them off, right? It's a good place to adjust the length of your bracelet. So, you know, you can adjust if you need shorter, if you need longer, use all of them, take away whatever you need to. And then I'm going to take a jump ring. I'm going to attach that to the last of the 3 large jump rings. And I'm going to just close that back. I'm going to leave that. Actually, I'll go ahead and attach my clasp as if I have attached it. So you can see it's not the, it's the open end of my clasp here, right? And then over here on the other side, jump ring onto the wire guardian, attaching my charm to that as well. So I'm just going to attach that jump ring, maybe in a kind of an odd angle here. And then my clasp. And I'm going to close that back just like so. So you've got yourself a cute little bracelet here. If you don't like the charm, you can leave the charm off. I thought it was kind of cool though. Very different. You know, it's a different kind of charm. I don't know. When I saw them, I was like, oh, I have to have those for kits. Those are so cool. So There you go. And if you wanted to add extra dangles, you absolutely can, but you don't have to. I don't think it needs it. It's just really beautiful as is. I love the colors. So, so pretty. All right, moving on to the next, okay, because we've still got a lot of things to cover. All right, the next thing we are going to do, we're going to bounce over and make a pair of earrings. Now, I want to tell you something about these earrings because I cannot claim the fame for these, okay? I cannot. These were not my original creation. These were actually created by another jewelry artist named Andrea P. She is an amazing jewelry artist, and so she came up with this design, and I just wanted to make kits out of it. I did change this slightly. So it is a little bit different than her original, but I just couldn't resist putting these in the show because I thought they were so cool, but I definitely wanted to give her credit because that's how we do things around here. We definitely want to give credit where credit is due. These are fun for Halloween, okay? This is definitely a fun little Halloween design. And I thought maybe you guys would enjoy these as well. These are little fortune teller earrings, and I think they're really fun. So I'm going to lay these out here. Try to lay this one out so that you can see. How cool is this? So it is this really neat little hand. It's like a fortune teller hand. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It's just really cool looking. I don't know. I thought it was neat. And it's got some little moons and some branches. There's an eye. I thought it was cool. Stainless steel. Of course, that has been laser cut. Really cool. Then we have these shell moons. We have some little drops. These little metal drops. Don't lose your metal drops. And we're using some tube beads, which is cool. I'm always a fan of tube beads. I really love them. You can call them bugles. That's whatever you want to call them. There's a little piece of chain for each one of them as well. So I'm going to show you how to put these together. Okay. All right. So we are going to, first things first, we're going to start in the middle. We're going to start with, you can see if I separate these out, you can see our middle piece here is a short chain and then a bugle bead with our little crescent moon. So I'm going to take a head pin and I'm going to thread that into the middle of our moon. And then I'm going to take a bugle bead just like that. And I'm going to do a simple loop on this. Noodle beads. I like it, Kim. Kim calls them noodle beads. I like that. All right. Kathleen says, what does that mean, the metal hand? It doesn't mean anything. It's just a cool it's just a decoration. It doesn't mean anything. It's just kind of a cosmic fortune teller. I don't know. It's just a fun design. It's just fun. That's all. Doesn't have to mean anything. All right, now I'm going to take that loop that I just made and I'm going to twist open it and I'm going to thread on one of the chain pieces and close that back. Okay. All right, now that, right, and Jen says palm reader. I don't know that that's what it means, but I think that's what it insinuates, right? Because but I mean, it's just for fun. It's just for fun. Okay, so we're going to take a jump ring. Okay, we're going to take a small jump ring. Just like so. And we are going to attach our chain and then we're going to hang this from the middle. And you can see there's a little moon here in the middle of the hand. We're going to attach that right there. I think these are fun for Halloween, but honestly, you can wear these anytime you want to. And I'll tell you a little secret. I actually bought these and put this together for myself. This is my pair right here. And then I was like, you know what? I got to share these for Halloween because they're so fun for everybody else as well. But this is actually my pair. So when we're done, I'm putting these on. These are mine. All right. So now we're going to take another jump ring and the other little dangle, and we're going to do one of them together, is a bugle bead on an eye pin with a little jump ring and the drop. And I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and attach this one so I don't get the pieces mixed up, but that's going to go on to one of the outer moons on the bottom of the hand. Okay, so I will show you how to put this one together. We're just going to go ahead and attach this one though, so it's out of the way. Right. Okay, so for this one, as I mentioned, so your little bugle bead is going to go onto an eye pin. Okay, and we're going to do a simple loop. So we're going to trim, leaving ourselves about 1/4 of an inch of wire, round nose pliers, grab, roll back. Okay, so you got your little loops. Then you're going to take another jump ring. Don't forget the extra jump ring in this one. Okay, so the jump ring attached to one of those loops, and then put your little metal teardrop on there. And then you're going to close that back. Okay, so that makes this little dangle. And that's what we just attached a second ago. So you're going to use another jump ring to attach that. Valerie, that's a really good question. Valerie says, what brand of bugle beads has the most uniform size? I'm not entirely sure, but I think somebody in our comment section could probably answer that for you. I don't use enough of them to know for sure. But I'm sure that somebody here has got a really good idea for you. All right, so there's that. And then all we're doing is just adding our ear wire to. I think they're so fun. I couldn't resist. So again, I cannot claim the fame for these. These were a creation from Andrea P. And as I mentioned, she's an incredible jewelry artist. So you definitely want to check her out if you don't know who she is. I just wanted to share these because I couldn't not. They're perfect for Halloween. I love them. So much fun. So if you want to grab some of these are very limited edition in the shop, by the way. So super fun. Really, really cute. Okay. Setting these to the side. Actually, I'm going to put these on and you guys will see these at the end. Cause like I said, these are my personal earrings here. So, all right, moving on to the next. All right, I've got another bracelet for you guys. This is one that, as I mentioned earlier, we've done this kind of design before, and we're doing it again today. This time we're doing it in a color palette that I think is great for fall. It's good for Halloween, but not just Halloween, because it's not that like orange and black in like the traditional sense. And there's also a pair of earrings that can go with this that I'll show you after we put this together. But let me lay this out for you. So this is a double strand bracelet. We've done this design before. This is in copper. You can see we've got a little copper connector here. We're using black fire polish and these beautiful kind of honey colored bellflowers with more copper. And then our accents are going to be large fire polish, these beautiful check flowers that have a copper wash to them. And we are going to do a couple little dangles because I can't not. And you can see we're going to do the little swirly bead cap on the top of them. So, all right, let me lay this one out for you so that you can see how this one is going to go. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to create the extra strand here. So our second row of beads. So we're going to put together our little beaded chain. Okay, so it's 2 of those. And then that is going to transition into our fire polish, our large fire polish with our little beads, another fire polish, and then we'll have some dangles. Okay. Really beautiful. So this is grays and this kind of yellowy honey color and black. So it's not traditional orange and black, but I think that you most definitely could get away with wearing this as a Halloween bracelet if you wanted to. But then the color palette works for any time. So it doesn't have to be strictly for that. Hi, Jane. Hi. All right. So for our beaded chains for each strand, we're doing 2 fire polish. All of these beads are just on eye pins. Okay, so I've already started this for us. So I've done 2 black fire polish on eye pins. We're going to add an eye pin to this. Okay, and then we're going to do our little bellflower section. So I'm going to thread on a small fire polish. Yes, Kim says this is sophisticated Halloween. I think so. I think so. Then we're going to do a bellflower. Then we're going to do a metal bead. Then we're going to do a bellflower going in the opposite direction and another small fire polish. Okay, and we're going to do a simple loop on this. Okay, so we're bending the wire, coming in with our cutter. We're going to trim, leaving ourselves about 1/4 of an inch of wire. Using our round nose pliers, grab that wire and roll back to create our simple loop. Then we're going to use our chain nose pliers to open that loop and thread on 3 more check fire polish, each one linked together with eye pins. Okay, so no jump rings in between these. Okay, so you're going to do 2 of those, and you can see 2 fire polish, the little flower section, and then 3 fire polish. Okay, you're going to open up your last link and you're going to attach that to your connector. So there's not a jump ring here either. Both of these, you're using your simple loops to connect those to your little double strand connector here. Okay. All right. Then this is going to transition from double strand into a single strand. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take another eye pin. We're going to twist to open that. We're going to thread that on to that single connector end. Close that back. We're going to thread on a small fire polish. We're going to do a small bead cap. Our large fire polish. 2 of these beautiful check glass bellflowers. They're just a larger kind of bellflower. And then a bead cap and another fire polish bead. Now look at this little section. How beautiful is that? So this was kind of my inspiration for the earrings that go with this bracelet. So keep this little section in mind here. So pretty. Okay. All right. Simple loop here. Bending the wire. And with our cutter to trim. And then round nose pliers. Grab that wire and roll back for our simple loop. And then open that when you're going to put another eye pin on. And that eye pin is going to have a small bead cap, large fire polish, small bead cap, and another simple loop. Okay. All right. So here's what we've got. All right. So pretty. So, so pretty. Okay. Now we have a couple more bellflowers that I'm going to use as dangles, or you can save these and use these as earrings or whatever you want to use them for. But I'm going to thread mine onto head pins. I'm going to bend the wire right where it is exiting that bead. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then I'm going to kind of roll that loop down to the top of that bead. And then I'm going to use my pliers to wrap that wire around to create kind of like a little wire wrapped bead cap to the top of our bellflower. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with my cutter. I'm going to trim off. I'm going to do that to both of those. So I've got 2 of these. All right. Now the rest of this is just putting all of this together because we've got a lot of jump rings here to deal with. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to do on this end down here. Okay. And you can do this however you want to, but we're going to do a large jump ring. We're going to bring the 2 ends together with that large jump ring. And then we're going to close that back. We're going to take another large jump ring. We're going to open this one up and we're going to put our 2 bellflowers on. This would be beautiful as a necklace, Ginger. I agree. We're going to attach that to the previous jump ring. And then one more large jump ring, so we may as well go ahead and attach that. Okay. So those. Then we're going to do jump ring and our clasp. And then on the other end, we have another jump ring and a smaller jump ring. And again, you can use as many of the jump rings as you want or as few as you need, right? It's up to you as far as like the length of the bracelet, what you need here. And then that's it. So when you hook all this together, you've got your double strand bracelet with your little dangles in copper. So this is 100% going to work as a Halloween bracelet, but then wear it all winter because it's not in your face orange. You know what I mean? Like this is just a beautiful, classy color palette that you can wear with a lot of different things. You can wear this with grays. You can wear it with black. You can wear it with brown. You can wear it with anything. So really pretty. Love this bracelet. All right, now if you would like to put together a matching pair of earrings, I just so happen to have a kit that will go with this one. So we are going to put together a quick little pair of earrings that I think are stunning. Okay, so I'm going to set that to the side. And these earrings are so simple, but so pretty. So it's two of those beautiful flower beads stacked up with a bead cap, a Swarovski pearl, and one of those small little fire polish, and that's it. So pretty. And I feel like just a really nice compliment to the bracelet. All right, so we're taking a head pin. We're going to thread on two of the flowers and drop those down. We're going to thread on a bead cap. We're going to thread on a pearl. And then a fire polish. And then we're going to do a wraps loop and add our ear wire. And that's it. This little pair of earrings is just that simple, but so pretty and very different, right? Very, very different. Okay. So we're going to come in with our chain nose pliers, bend the wire. And I guess if you wanted to use your imagination, if you were going to, you know, wear this as like a Halloween set, you could pretend like these were like, it was like a little witch broom, right? If you wanted to. I mean, it's kind of a stretch, but I don't know. I don't know. Bonnie says she sees a little girl. So it could be a little girl in a dress, right? Definitely. I love it. I just think they're beautiful. So coming in with my cutter, I'm going to trim off. And then we're going to add our ear wire. Kim, that would be me, and I am certainly no genius. All right, there's a little set for you guys if you wanted to do the whole set. If not individually, they're gorgeous pieces all by themselves, but they do make a nice little set. This would be a great gift for somebody or just a nice little sassy set for yourself, right? I think it's fabulous. So I hope you guys are enjoying all the designs in today's show. Like I said, I'm having a hard time picking favorites because I think everything in the show is just really fun and pretty. So I hope you're feeling the same way. All right, we've got another quick pair of earrings, and then we're going to do a necklace to finish off the show. So I'm going to set these to the side. All right, this next little pair of earrings is just quick and easy and whimsical and cute. These are some little owls. Little owls with some little flowers right on their head to shield them from the rain because you know it's rainy in the fall. So he's sitting underneath the flower to keep himself dry. And yeah, that was my inspiration here. So just quick and easy. We're going to take an eye pin and we're going to twist it open. We're going to thread that on to our little owl charm. We're going to close that back. We're going to put his little flower hat on him, his little flower umbrella. And then we're going to do bead caps. So we're going to do a daisy spacer and then a bead cap facing upwards. And then our little fire polish bead is going to sit right on top of that, right? So cute. It's so cute. All right. And then we're going to do a wrapped loop and put the ear wire on. These are quick and easy. Yes, Jane says you could reverse the 2 top beads and throw in a small pair of angel wings and you've got an angel. You definitely can do that. And you can do that with these as well. So I think either one of these pairs of earrings, you could quite easily turn them into little angels if you wanted to. How cute is that? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. All right, so I'm just doing a little wrapped loop here. And we're going to add our ear wire. And these are done. These just make me smile. They're so cute. And he just looks so happy and content sitting underneath his little flower umbrella. I just thought they were cutie. Love those. All right, we've got one more project and then we are done. All right, last project is our necklace. And guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but you are now able to get your hands back on TiaraCast products. Did you know that? Did you know that? I know a lot of you do know this, but some of you may not. So TiaraCast was bought as is by a company in Greece called Fashion Passion or Passion Fashion. I can't remember which direction it goes, but that's the name of the company. And they have decided to leave TiaraCast as is, meaning that they're not changing anything. They're not doing anything differently. They are still very much making the TiaraCast products the same way. It's just owned underneath a different name, but it's still very recognizable in the industry as TiaraCast. So because of that, I have been able to get my hands on some of the TiaraCast restock because you guys know that there for a while when TiaraCast closed and we weren't really sure what was going to happen with all of it, people were grabbing it up like crazy because we were afraid we were never going to be able to have TiaraCast anymore. Well, that's no longer true. And one of my favorite collections from TiaraCast was the Dolce Vita collection, or Dulce Vitae. I don't know how you say it. Dolce Vitae. That's how I've always said it. Anyway, it was one of my favorite collections. And as I mentioned, they've not gotten rid of anything. They're still doing the exact same thing. So this is part of the restock of TiaraCast. And I grabbed some of these connectors, which I absolutely love. They're double-sided. They're really beautiful. I have more pieces that I'm going to be throwing into kits here in the future, but I wanted to use these first. And we're using some beautiful green fire polish, which I thought was a beautiful green that was going to be able to be worn all through the fall and then into the spring. Just a really pretty one. I also have some Swarovski bicones here in the same olive green and some little seed beads. So we're going to do a simple stringing project. But before we do that, we are going to put some little dangles here on the bottom of our little pendant. So you're going to take 3 of your little bicones and you're going to put those on to head pins and do wrapped loops. So I'm going to do that really quickly. 2 of them are already ready. One of them's already on a jump ring. We're going to do 1 and then we'll create our little dangle. And then we will do the stringing part of this. All right, so I'm going to bend the wire right where it is exiting the bead. Coming in with my round nose pliers, we're going up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then we're going to wire wrap in the space. Sherry says she finds that she uses this green most often. I do too. I'm really drawn to this green. I really enjoy creating jewelry in greens and blues. I find that those are the easiest for me to create with, but this green in particular is one of my absolute favorites that I'm always drawn to. All right, so we're going to trim off the excess. Like I said, you're going to do that to 3 of your bicones. Okay. One of them's already on a jump ring. That's what you're going to want to do. You want to put one of them onto a small jump ring. Then you're going to take another small jump ring and you're going to thread that onto the jump ring you just added to that one. You're going to put one of these little dangles on either side. So we're just creating a little mini cluster here, just like that. Okay, and we're going to close that back. So that's what we've got, right? A little mini cluster. And we're going to take a jump ring. We're going to attach it to the jump ring we just added. And then we're going to put that on the bottom of our little tiara cast component. And close that back. So it's got a pretty little dangle on it. And then we're going to put one more jump ring on the top. Okay. And we're going to close that back. All right, now we're ready to do the stringing part of this. Okay, so sit that to the side. And you're going to take your beading wire. And we're going to crimp. So we're going to do a crimp bead and our wire guardian. Okay, up through the wire guardian, down through the wire guardian, and then down through the crimp. Making sure your wires are not crisscrossing inside there, and you're going to place that into the back notch of your crimper tool and give that a squeeze. All right, turn that sideways, put it into the front notch, give that a squeeze. Come in with your cutter, trim off the excess. All right, now we are ready to string this up. So the stringing for this is as follows. You're going to take your wire and you're going to pick up 6 of the seed beads. Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to drop those down. Okay, you're going to do 3 of the Swarovski bicones. So there's 1, 2, 3 of those. Drop those down. You're going to do 1 more seed bead. And then you're going to do a fire polish. You're going to do a seed bead and a fire polish. Okay. Then you're going to do a seed bead, a rondelle, and you're going to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to do 5 of the rondelles with seed beads in between them. So we're going to pick up 4 more of the rondelles, just making sure that you don't miss the seed bead part of this. Whoops. That seed bead just went flying. I'm not sure where that ended up. That is not a good thing. So we may be 1 seed bead short at the end. That's okay. Not sure what happened to that one. I heard it. I heard it hit something. So I know it didn't go too far, but it's kind of a bummer because that means we're 1 seed bead short. But it's okay. When can we order? Carol, are you talking about the kits? You can order the kits right now. So my team is here in the comment section dropping links to the Etsy shop so that you can grab these whenever you want, anytime you want. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the rondelles, then 1 seed bead, 1 bicone. Okay, and then you're going to do another 6 of the seed beads. But since we are missing one of ours, we're going to do 5. So I'm picking up 5. Okay, then on top of those 5, you're going to thread on your jump ring with your pendant. And again, those little seed beads will serve as the barrier between your jump ring and your beading wire, because you don't want those touching each other. Okay, which right this second it is touching, but once we get all this strung up, it won't be touching anymore. Okay, now we're going to do bicone. So now we're just going to repeat our pattern and then a seed bead. Okay, and then we're going to do our 5 rondelles with the seed beads in between. Okay. Anything you see in the show today was available as a kit, or is available, I should say, as a kit for purchase in my Etsy shop right now, or anytime you want. Now, I can't promise that if you don't close your cart out by the end of the show, that things will still be there. Things tend to sell out because most everything is in limited quantities. And so once they're gone, they're pretty much gone. If I do restock things, it takes a while for me to reorder, and I don't restock everything. It just really kind of depends, because some things sell better than others, obviously. So, all right, seed bead. And then we've got 3 bicones again. And then we're going to finish this off with 6 seed beads, and we're going to crimp. Okay. And you can see what that looks like. How beautiful. And then we're just using some chain as the length for this. Now, I put chain in the kit, but if you wanted to bead the rest of this, or if you wanted to use leather for the length or whatever, and substitute, you know, anything in place of the chain, you absolutely can do that. Okay, 6 seed beads, and then our crimp and our wire guardian. Yeah, while supplies last. Very well said. While supplies last. You definitely want to close out your cart, because sometimes by the end of the day, you have to remember, this gets people that are like at work right now. I have a ton of audience that doesn't watch until afterwards. So people that get off work at the end of the day and then over the weekend will rewatch this as a replay, and they usually go and clean out the rest of the things from the shop. So you don't want to wait too long on things, because I can't promise that they'll still be there. But all right. All righty. Now we're going to place that into the back notch of the crimper tool. Give that a squeeze. Front notch. Give that a squeeze. And then we're coming in with our cutter to trim off. And again, the only thing left to do is just add the chain to this. And if you wanted to, you know, create your own length, you absolutely could. If you wanted to turn this into a bracelet, you could. I thought it made a really beautiful necklace, though. Very simple. Just a really lovely green. So I'm going to take my chain, got my hardware already ready, and attach this to the ends. And then we'll be done. And I'm going to run back through all of the fun things that we had in the show today. Give you a quick little recap. And then I'm going to take a quick break. And I'll be back live again at 4 p.m. over on artbeads.com for my afternoon live over there, where I am featuring vintage. So if you want another dose of Sarah for your afternoon, come on over 4 p.m. for that show, because that's going to be a fun one. All right, there's our necklace. So pretty. So pretty. All right, let me grab my bust here so I can put the necklace on it. I'm going to turn you guys around. We're going to do a quick recap, and then I will let you guys go. at least for a little while. All right, so let me show you the earrings first because I have them on, right? So we did a bunch of pairs of earrings, but these were the little fortune teller earrings that I had in the show. And this is my pair. I'm not taking these apart and putting these in the shop. There are some in the shop, so it's not like they're not available because they are, but this pair in particular is mine. So there were our little fortune teller earrings. And we just put together a beautiful green necklace. So pretty. It's simple and it's monochrome, but it's just beautiful. Really, really pretty. So there's our beautifully green necklace. We also had, do not forget, our fun purple bellflowers bracelet. So we had beautiful fire polish and our charm. Such a pretty one. We also had our copper bracelet with those kind of golden colored bellflowers, the gray and the black, just beautiful. And if you wanted to make that one into a set, we had a beautiful pair of earrings to go with that. So pretty. And then last but not least were our sweet little owls. Super, super cute. So that's our show, guys. That was it. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun with this one. I hope that you did too. I really loved everything that was in the show. So I hope that I inspired you. Thank you to everybody who made purchases today or who will make purchases coming up. I appreciate you so, so much. Please don't forget to set your reminders for 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon over on artbeads.com for my live over there, where, like I mentioned, we'll be featuring vintage. We're putting together an antique style bracelet. I cannot wait for that. It's going to be really fun. And if I don't see you later, then don't forget to set your reminder for 1 p.m. for Tuesday for our Tuesday live. I'll be doing bargain bead box on Tuesday. So if you've not gotten your bargain bead box yet, or you have it and you need a little inspiration, that's what we're going to be doing on Tuesday's show. So I'll be looking forward to that one. You guys have an amazing rest of your afternoon. Have a great weekend if I don't see you later on Art Beads. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. I love you. Thank you. Bye, guys.